Okay, let's take a look here at some more practice on insurance and probability. So we're starting out with a straight up insurance question that says Rachel has 25,000 worth of property damage insurance. She causes 32,000 worth of damage to a sports car in an accident. Leave your answer as whole numbers. How much damage will the insurance company have to pay? So the insurance company has a max. Insurance company is only going to pay 25,000, and so that leaves the rest for Rachel. So subtract that and we get 7,000 that Rachel has to pay, and insurance is going to cover its max. So we always want to make sure we are fully insured. Gloria pays her insurance in 3 installments each year. The first payment is 40% and each of the two is 30% from then on out. So first payment, 40%. Second payment, 30%. And last payment is 30%. Do you see how those all add up to 100? 40 plus 30 plus 30. So here I go, using my calculator. And this one's the same amount. And if we add these all up, they would give us $924 in those 3 installments that we pay. Ruth has decided to drop her collision insurance because her car is getting old. Her total premium is $916, of which $170.60 is the part that's collision. What will her annual premium be after she drops the collision? So we take the annual premium, we minus off the collision premium. Grab your calculators. If you're not calculating these yourself, you're not going to be able to do it on the quiz. So make sure that you can pause these, calculate it, or do the whole assignment yourself, and then just check your answers. So now we've got this annual premium of $745.40. What will her quarterly payment be after she drops it? So quarterly means 4 times per year, if you recall. So we're going to take that 745 and divide it by 4. Plus, you want to do all these calculations to check me and make sure I'm doing them right. Okay, how'd you do? Did you divide that by 4? That's her quarterly premium now, after she dropped the collision insurance. Okay, Leslie has comprehensive insurance with a $500 deductible on her van. On Halloween, her van is vandalized and the damages are a total of $1,766. Leslie submits a claim to insurance. How much does she have to pay? She has to pay the deductible. Deductible means the part that the owner of the vehicle pays. And then how much does insurance company pay? Grab your calculators and do this. The difference. You got it. Felix has $10,000 worth of property damage insurance and $1,000 deductible collision insurance. He has a tire blowout while driving and crashes into a $1,400 fire hydrant, and the crash caused $1,600 in damages to his car. And the fire hydrant is $1,400. So which insurance covers the damage to the fire hydrant? You got it. Property damage insurance is what covers any property that your car crashes into, a house, a pole, a fire hydrant, anything else that you hit on a property. How much will the insurance company pay for the hydrant? So since we have $10,000 worth of property damage insurance and $1,000 deductible collision insurance, so the $10,000 is just flat out property damage. So it's going to pay for the whole amount of 1,400s for the fire hydrant. If you thought that the 1,000 went the deductible went to this and you said that the difference that the insurance would pay is $400, I would accept it because that's kind of worded weird in the question. Anyways, which insurance covers the damage to the car? That's your collision insurance. Crash the car, collision insurance. And then how much will insurance company pay for the damage to the car? So looking up here, it's $1,600 in damage to the car. And we have a $1,000 deductible collision insurance. He had a tire blowout. Okay, so insurance company is going to pay $600 because Felix has to pay the $1,000 deductible. And they will not start the work on your car until you give them that deductible. So you want to make sure your deductible is an amount you always have in your savings account that you could always pay at any time. A local insurance agent visits the high school and tells the students that his company will give students a 10% discount on their liability, PIP, comprehensive, and collision for 3 years if they take a defensive driving course. Maria spends $1,276 on her auto insurance annually. If she takes the defensive driver course, how much will she save? So $1,276 times 3 years, because we're talking about a 3-year period, is 3,828. And then we want to know what 10% off of that is. So 10% of 3,828 is going to be a $382.80 savings. And so it says, how much will she save in a 3-year period? There's our savings. Maria's defensive driver course was $55 to register for. Does she save enough in 1 year to pay for the course? Oops. So 382.80 divided by 3, that's a savings of $127.60. So yes, that's over the $55. That's $72.60 of savings in that first year. And then after that, it's $127.60 each year. So yes, she saves more than that. Yay for discounts. Okay, the following two-way table displays information that resulted from a survey given to all students who are of driving age. And so these are people who prefer to drive, prefer public transportation like the bus, people who live in the city close to school, and people who live in the suburbs a little bit farther from school. So like Fallbrook, Valley Center, and they're driving to El Camino. Okay, letter A, probability that the student lives in the city and prefers public transportation. So lives in the city, prefers public transportation. It's going to be 24 out of the total students polled. Probability that the student lives in the suburb and prefers to drive. Probability of suburb and prefers to drive is 33 out of the 80 that were polled. And then the probability that a student who prefers to drive lives in the city. So the way that this is worded, we now have a different denominator. Pause for a second and see if you can get it. Probability that a student who prefers to drive. We're now only talking about these students. Probability that a student who prefers to drive lives in the city is 12 out of 45. So take a minute Pause this video, get those calculations. Let's see how you do. Okay, how'd you do? Last one, given the following Venn diagram, find the probability that of the following using bus for B, C for car, and K for bike. So here's my B, here's my K because I couldn't use B again, and here's my C for car. Probability that someone only prefers to go by car. Now, before I start calculating all this, what's going to be my denominator? Exactly. We got to add it all up. And when I mean all of these numbers plus these people out here that don't prefer to use any of these methods. Maybe they take Uber. Maybe they get a ride with a friend. I don't know. So we need our denominator. So add that all up. 35 plus 10 plus 12 plus 8 plus 157 plus 35 plus 20 plus that 15 outside. Tell me what you get. Did you get 292 total? Just to be safe, I'm adding it one more time. Okay, I got it again. Hope it's right. So now that we added those all up, now we have our denominator here. Probability that someone likes all three modes, that's our 12 on the inside. Probability that someone likes bike and car but not bus. So bike, car, but not bus. So not counting that middle number is just 35. Now make up a probability question yourself and then show the work to solve it. So this is you coming up with one on your own. And then when you turn that in, I'm going to take a peek to see how you did. Okay, how'd you do? You do one. Good job.